Welcome back to Naruto Shippuden Anime Review, Part 11B. This I'm discussing episodes 139 to 143. Yeah, and this is a good reason why I split it up, because it kind of feels like the second half of this arc feels like another story arc. Because first we deal with the aftermath, what happened after Itachi. I should point out though, with Itachi being dead, he stays dead. Yeah, he does come back briefly. He does come back in the fourth Ninja War. He plays a big role in that remake Jutsu. But after that, that's it for the guy. But he stays dead for pretty much for the next several seasons until he's brought back for Ninja War. But after that, he's done. Yep, he's done. So with Itachi dead, Sasuke is basically meeting up with Toby. And Toby is speaking with his supposedly his real voice. Not actually, no. It's just another disguised voice. When he tries to take off his mask and show his face to Sasuke with his Sharingan, he ends up nearly burning him with the Asamasuru. Yep. And then he reveals, oh yeah, my name is Mandor Uchiha. And I'm thinking though, because I watch series, like, no you're not. I know exactly who you are, and you're not Mandor Uchiha. One thing, you're too thin to be the guy. Yeah, Mandor Uchiha was a little more bulkier than you are, man. I mean, unless of course you claim the fact that if you are, I highly doubt it. Now, most of what he explains about Mandor Uchiha is definitely true. They do kind of confirm the fact that he was responsible for unleashing the Nine-Tailed Fox in Hidden Leaf Village 16 years around the event series. Yeah, he was responsible for that. They don't show that, like, that particular event is not shown until later on in a flashback involving him. They do show him wearing another mask when he's Toby, well, as Mandora, where it's a slight different design. It still has the one hole in it. And the reason, now, it's never explained until later on of why he has only one eye. Yeah, and the reason is, actually, a good reason. I'm not going to explain now because I don't want to spoil it just yet. No. So, pretty much, he explains sort of a highlighted version of the history of Elite Village. We'll talk mainly about the Uchiha clan. Now, the whole about the American Sharingan thing, that part was true. He didn't bring up that. He didn't bring up that Uchiha clan was basically used in basically hired mercenaries to deal with various other clans. They fought the Sengoku clan many times. And of course, this is expanded upon later on in flashback. And eventually, they form a truce, and apparently, the way he explains it, Madara was against it. The flashback actually reveals that was actually a lie. Oh yes, that was nothing more than a big fat lie on the part of Toby. Oh yes. Yeah, for Toby, that is actually a lie. Yeah, that part was a lie. It was actually revealed that he actually was for the alliance. Yeah, that was actually a big. Well, the only thing about his conversation he actually lied about. He does bring about the legendary battle that the Mandora had with the first Hokage in Final Valley. Though the reason why he left, because in the actual flashback it's explained because he felt as though his usefulness was done, and that's what led to the legendary battle that the first Hokage had with Mandor Uchiha. And then, like, everyone thinks he died, which that part was true. Everyone thought he died. And then he mentioned about the Nine-Tailed Fox attack, which, according to Itachi, he did that. Mandora mentions that, well, he doesn't mention he did it, but he did. Yeah, he was responsible for it. And also, it showed a little more of the flashback of Sasuke and Itachi. It showed a little bit more than what it showed previously. Where they show, like, Itachi was much younger than he was. They don't detail Itachi's backstory until, like, the second to last season of the show. When they do that arc, which is loosely adapted from the light novels. Yes, so, let's see. Itachi book Light and Darkness. Yeah, until they do this arc, that's when they explore his backstory. But mostly it's just, well, left up in the air for right now. So after the explanation, of course, Sasuke is, and also it's revealed that the reason why that of the reasoning behind his attack, his basically of why he massacred the Uchiha clan. Now, Mandara explained that yes, he was the one who basically was with him. He was his partner in massacring the Uchiha clan. They don't show full detail of this until that flashback episodes. hmm He did mention about he killed his superiors, his parents, and his lover. Yeah, who his lover is actually is explained later on. Yeah, that part is true. He did in fact have a lover. As for if she ever got pregnant with his child, unknown because they never stated he did. Also, and I keep asking this, what the heck happened to his sword and his vest? I get probably he stopped wearing it when he joined the Akatsuki, but they never explain what happened to some of his outfits he wears. At least in the case of Deidara, at least that outfit he wore underneath his cloak is the same outfit he wore when he first joined the Akatsuki. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sasuke is not entirely believing of this. Oh yeah, and also, this is where Naruto first sees Zetsu for the first time. Though he becomes a big player later on. Well, minor player. He doesn't really play. He's more of a support antagonist. That's what Zetsu is. He pretty much is basically planting the seed throughout most of the series. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He pretty much is there just to basically witness everything. That's pretty much his job. So he tells basically Toby that Itachi's dead. Sasuke defeated him. And the Hidden Leaf basically goes to the place where Itachi and Sasuke had their big battle. And they look around, they can't find anything, and well, that's it for the Hidden Leaf for this set of episodes because Naruto does nothing in this set of episodes. He does nothing. Of course, they do delve more into what he does next in the next set of episodes. So, with that taken care of, after the whole explanation was wrapped up, basically, Kinemaro, he basically meets up with Toby, and Toby does take off his mask, and he thinks, "Oh, hi, Lord Mazakage." That's not Mazakage. He's using a Sharingan to use Jutsu on him. Why the heck he would do this is never explained. So, basically, the Akatsuki, who are low on manpower, yeah, that's because the Hidden Leaf pretty much killed almost like every single person who was been killed over the course of the set. Like, Sasori was killed by Sakura and Granny Chiyo. Deidara killed himself. Hidan was buried alive by Shikamaru. Kiname, the guy with the string, yeah, he was killed by Naruto, and Itachi was killed by Sasuke. Yeah, 5 out of the 9 members have been eliminated. Yep. With Sasuke eliminating Itachi, at this point, these members left Toby, Zetsu, Pain, Conan, and, well, Kinemaro. Basically, with Itachi, he just does whatever the heck he wants. Yeah, he doesn't really play a role after this until a little bit later. Yeah, he doesn't do very much after this. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, bringing a cool character like him, and then he just does nothing. So, they kind of split into 3 groups. One group will go off, now, it's mentioned that they need to go off the tail beast. So, of course, Toby mentions that the Akatsuki has captured 6 of them. Yes, 6. Though, it's later shown in the flashback they took 7 before they captured a lot of the other ones. Which is quite weird. They say there are 3 left, which means that, okay, there's actually, you're probably thinking, wait, now, where does the 5 tails come in? Yeah, that's kind of strange though. I don't think they've ever shown who was host to 5 tails. Because Gaara's host to Shikaku, who was the 1 tail. You have Yui, who is host of 2-tailed cat. You have the 3-tailed turtle. You have Roshi, who's the host of Son Goku. Well, he's not really Son Goku. He's basically 4-tailed ape. As for who the 5 tails is, I don't think they show him at this point, which is kind of strange. 6 tails shows up very next arc. 7 tails makes her first kind of appearance in the second last season of the series. Of course, Naruto's 9 tails. So, they basically split 3 groups. Like, Pain will obviously go after Naruto. That happens in Pain arc. Like as what happens with the sixth one, that pretty much is handled also by I think by Pain as well. I'll real delve more into that when I talk about Six Tails Unleashed. So Sasuke's group basically is joining forces with Akatsuki just to be allied with them, also wearing their cloaks. So they go after Killer Bee. Yep, making his first appearance in the series. Now, not the first time they showed people from the Hidden Cloud Village. Yeah, not the first time they showed him flashback several times in the original Naruto series. This is actually the first time they've actually shown him in a much better light than being stubborn, pig-headed idiots. Oh yeah, he puts the guy again. He's like, okay, where can I find him? Like, ask where Killer Bee is. He's on this island training. It's like, what does it look like? He has 8 swords, bullhorn tattoo on his cheek, steel on his arm, and then he passes. Like, okay, that seems like a pretty good description of him. Doesn't mention the fact the guy's black. He wears goggles, and he wears a ninja headband like a freaking bandana. Also, he's a rapper. First time we see him as 8-Tail form, which I thought that was kind of weird. Why would you show that first while he's eating? That was weird. So, he comes out and he starts rapping. Yes, rapping. Yeah, the character is known for rapping. He's a terrible rapper. And according to what I read online, the guy who did his voice in the sub actually had difficulty basically voicing him. And yes, I have heard Killer Bee sub voice. It is kind of weird. Nothing against the voice actor, but the lines are so weird. And he does the same thing here. And then, of course, meets up with Toby, with Taka. That's the name of the group, Taka. So first, and they have a big epic brawl. Karin doesn't do much of anything except basically witness the battle. And, of course, he helps Sasuke. One of 2 times he's hurt. Second time he's hurt really badly, where it takes Jungo to heal him. Because his curse mark is basically good for Sasuke's body. So they heal him up, and of course they do this not long after Sasuke had just killed Itachi. I mean, the guy went through 3 battles over the course of the past few days. He first fought Deidara, and then he fought Itachi. Now it's the Killer Bee. Like, can he get a rest between battles? Nope, I think he's going battling. Eventually, of course, you have Killer Bee going to his first to the Tail Beast cloak form, which that's interesting. He's able to control a lot better than Naruto can. He's one of 2 I think of who actually can do that. The other, of course, being Naruto. The other ones, from what I can tell, they've never actually shown him actually in that form. Not that I can tell, no. And then, of course, he's defeated thanks to the Asamasha when he's in his 8-tailed beast form, which is simply the 8-tailed beast. Edo is what Naruto calls him later. So, he is defeated, though he's wrapped up in Sasuke's his Akatsuki robe. Karin basically is later nearly killed by Sasuke's flame, so he's able to get rid of them from her body, though basically her back is burned. So they apparently took Killer Bee over to the Akatsuki so they can steal him. Of course, this actually is later explained this is not actually him. And so the 2 guys who apparently are students of Killer Bee sees, oh crap, it's the Akatsuki, and they realize, though, we should probably not battle him because that's Nuchiya. Interesting to say the least. Kind of an odd set of episodes. Like, okay, we debut like 1 new character in these episodes, Killer Bee. And I got hands to the English voice actor. He does a really good job voicing him. Though Killer Bee doesn't do much of anything for quite some time. Yeah, he doesn't return until just after some time. Be again until the end of the 5 Kage Summon arc. That's the next time he appears. And they'll say, okay, Lord Killer Bee basically is in trouble. Let's go contact Lord Razakage, his brother. And he's like, he'll be angry. He's like, yeah, of course he will. And that's where the thing ends. Great set episodes. Can't wait to discuss Six Tails Unleashed. And how boring the host is for the Six-Tailed Slug. Yeah, he is so boring and bland. But I'll discuss him later. Okay, so that's it for Single Review. My next video will be the first of 3 videos to discuss Val X Love. Yep, this is the next video, which will be up probably like a little over an hour from now, okay? Bye.